Welcome, global marketing students. This is Dr. Stober, University of Redlands students. Hope you guys are doing well. Um, it's a pleasure having you in my global marketing class. I wish we could be together in person. Um, we're going to do just fine doing this course online. I've sent all of you the syllabus, and hope you have it in front of you now that you are connected with me. And today's session is we are going to go over the syllabus, make sure the instructions are clear, understandable, and keep in mind that you can always send me questions to my personal email address and the phone number. You can text me also, and I'll respond to you in a timely manner. So that's all on the syllabus, very clearly written, and never hesitate to ask many questions. So on the first page of the syllabus, we have the textbook that I wrote for this course, and it's available at the bookstore. They have told me that they would arrange for free shipping. I'm going to ask you to have the textbook in hand for session 2 next week, because I'm going to refer to certain pages in the text, and I want to stay connected with you, to be well organized. Course description, marketing concepts with emphasis on marketing management. I'm here to spend lots of good time with you to prepare you to be marketing managers. We are going to learn the tasks that are involved as a marketing manager. We're also going to learn concepts. The marketing concept, for one, is to meet the needs of consumers at a profit. A business does not make a profit unless they have customers. People have needs, people have wants. I need a car, but I want a Rolls Royce. I'm just kidding, I don't want a Rolls Royce. But people have wants, and oftentimes those wants are driven by brands, which is another course that I teach. This is 344, which I teach once a year in the fall. Marketing strategies involving variables of the market mix, the 4 Ps we call them. Distribution is the same as place. I use distribution. It's clearer, it's more in line with what it does, but what that P is all, what that variable in the marketing mix is all about. Product price, promotion, distribution, 4 variables of the marketing mix. I tend to look at them in a circle because they are co-equal. You can have a great product, and if it's priced wrong, too low, too high, it may not do well, it may not sell. Does it make sense that a product could be priced too low? Think about that for a moment. When you think about a price that may lead consumers to perceive the product in a certain way, in a certain form. If it's too low, people could think of it as being cheap. If it's too high, it may not be affordable, or it may be close to an alternative which has greater value. These are the kinds of things that we learn in the marketing course. Coordinated and integrated across multiple country markets. This class is titled Global Marketing. So we are going to study the application of marketing across multiple country markets. You'll notice that one of the assignments for this class is a research paper, which we will entertain briefly today, and then we will explore further on the September the 22nd. I have laid out a syllabus for you with a schedule and assignments. Pay attention to the schedule. I have 3 of these sections. I have lots of students, and I like things done on time. I will respond to you in a timely manner I've given you once again my contact information. So, distinctive differences when we market our products in the United States versus marketing it in a foreign country. We have to take into consideration the differences of those consumers. If we do it well, they become our customers. Without customers, there is no business. Without customers, we don't generate revenue. We have to study the differences, the influences, the issues faced by companies, US companies, foreign companies when conducting activities in their foreign market, in the domestic market, and in the global environment. The point I'm making here is we are going to explore and examine those distinctive differences, influences, and issues faced by companies when conducting marketing activities in the domestic and global environment. In order to excel with our marketing decisions, we need to pay close attention to those significant changes and differences and influences. This is what you'll be learning in this course. The overview of this course is designed for business and non-business students. Of course, my goal is the non-business students, after studying this course, might become business students. That's one of my goals. I have a track record for doing that, and I'm pleased to continue to do that. Marketing is dynamic, it's an exciting field. You will examine examples of worldly situations. You'll find those presented, particularly at the end of each chapter in the section International Perspectives. And you will also find them at the last two chapters of the book, 11 and 12. Those differences can be intriguing, can be challenging. It also can be discouraging for those that have never learned them well. We are not going to ignore the fact that we need to understand marketing in the domestic market. I want you to know that I've lived in the United States for over 55 years, and I know the domestic market very well. I've been educated here. I've done a lot of consulting work in the domestic market with companies that have flourished over the years. So let's continue. Additionally, at the bottom of page 1, students will be able to further develop their analytical and critical thinking, writing. Unfortunately, we will not be able to meet in person to explore your communication skills orally, but you will have several assignments where you can accomplish that in a written format, and I look forward to receiving those as scheduled. Objectives and overview, understanding of marketing, creating the foundations, like building a house. When you have a good foundation, you can go higher, you can elevate. The foundation is crucial. The tasks and functions of the marketing manager. I see you all as marketing managers. It doesn't hurt starting as a clerk. A lot of successful executives today once started as clerks. Great benefit of starting as a clerk is you, say in the retailing environment, you get close to the customer. You understand how difficult customers can be. You understand their needs, their wants, their appreciations, their emotions, their thinking. The difficulty often comes in when we are not connected and we don't serve them well. And then those challenges occur. One way to minimize that, if not the only way to minimize that, is to be well prepared in understanding and admitting to those differences issues, influences that I introduced on page 1. To view marketing from an applied and practical perspective, very crucial. What good is learning marketing if it cannot be applied? Marketing is a practice you learn by doing. And I stress that in my presentations on a regular basis. To gain an overview understanding of marketing principles and concepts in the global arena. Welcome to global marketing. That's what we are going to be striving to attain in this class. Exploring research. How do you know what people need and want? Do we guess at it? Do I know everything? It starts by asking them. Marketing research entails getting the necessary feedback, using the different methods, and acquiring the feedback and adapting accordingly. Needs change. We need to recognize that. We need to be astute to that. Consumer and organizational buying behavior. Chapter 5 talks about consumers. Chapter 6 talks about the organization. Businesses, big corporations, small businesses. Chapter 5 focuses on the consumer that buys for personal or household consumption. Chapter 5 and 6. One of the things that I want you to explore is how businesses behave. Maybe a little challenging for you at this phase because you have limited experience. Some of my students have no experience in a 136 course when it comes to business marketing practices. One of the things we are going to also commit to is presenting you with materials so that you don't make mistakes. Sometimes it's better to fall flat on your face, and then that's how one learns. Unfortunately, sometimes business never recovers. So we're going to attempt to avoid those circumstances. Understanding of the elements of the marketing mix. Once again, the 4 variables. Place can be substituted for distribution. Then we can call it the 4 Ps, as I mentioned. I prefer to use distribution. It's more in line with what actually that variable involves. Product. I also want you to know that when we talk about product, we could be referring to a service. One is tangible, one is intangible. Domestic and global environments. Chapter 4 explores the global and the external environment. Chapter 11, chapter 12 explores the global environments. Chapter 4 is crucial, introduces you to these environments. Competition, political, legal, social, technological, economic. These environments pose different issues when we go on a global scale. So we are going to start looking at it from a domestic point of view and expand accordingly throughout the course. Once again, we need to have a great foundation with the domestic environment, and then we could expand thereafter. At the end of this course, the final will involve a case, a problem situation for a small business using marketing tools in solving those problems or major problems. Great exercise, you'll be given good time in order to think it through, sleep on it, and then come back with your answers. Again, I have a schedule which we will cover shortly, and that schedule is very important to pay attention to. There's a lot of students in my classes, and I don't like falling behind. So please pay attention to our schedules and get things in a timely manner. You can always submit things early. One of the things you will notice in the syllabus is that I am very responsive in giving feedback, scores, and I do that after the questions are posed, after the tests are taken. Before I forget, one of the things I want to mention is when I am planning to give a test, my plan is also to forward to you a study guide in advance, so you can see what my expectations are, what subject matter I'm emphasizing, so you're never put in a position of uncertainty, stress. We don't need that at this point in our lives. So I'm going to do everything beyond my means. I'm going to do everything possible and beyond in order to make sure that this experience is a positive one, with no uncertainties going forward. The requirements for this course are 3 tests. The reason I give tests is to make sure that you are well connected with the subject matter, you are versed, you are knowledgeable. And the only way I would be able to know that and accomplish that is to take your pulse and to give you a test. As I said before, the tests will be taken on a certain date. My plan is to send it to you short time earlier than the time designated, as though we were having class at a particular time, 9:30 class. I'll send it to you, California time, of course. I'll send it to you before the 9:30, and then it will be to be submitted by 10:20. For certain students, there will be accommodations made for more time, stipulated in the syllabus. Okay, so 3 tests, 20% each. They are usually written for about 45 minutes, and they will cover the material that I'll be presenting from the book that I wrote for you. So nothing surprising, nothing to be surprised about. The material has been written. I'm going to cover and highlight the topics, the material in these sessions that we're going to have starting today. Is the syllabus. Next week, you will have chapters 1 and 2. Okay, on the requirements, continuing, there's the final. There's a global research paper. This research paper is a major requirement for this course, particularly because the course is a global marketing course involving marketing a USA-made product to a foreign country. Pay attention, underline, USA-made to be marketed to a foreign country. It's not importing a product from a foreign country, it's actually marketing a product to a foreign country, which will require, as we stated on page 1, knowing the differences that exist in those countries and to be able to take them into consideration when we are marketing to that particular country. Countries have differences, and those differences have to be learned to avoid making mistakes. In cases where one does not get second chances, so mistakes should never be made in settings like that. They should never be made, period. Keep in mind, a person who has never made a mistake has never done anything. So I'm open-minded to that thought, nonetheless. Requirements, once again, 3 tests at 20% each. Final, should be a case analysis of a small business with problems, and then you're going to use the marketing tools learned in this class to solve the problems. And then the research paper. There are some guidelines for the paper. On September the 22nd, I will expand further, give a little more detail, just to make sure that you are equipped and comfortable with what is expected in completing this paper successfully. On the syllabus, page 3 and 4, required by the university, various statements. Please read them carefully. One of the statements at the bottom of page 4 has to do with COVID-19 in case I get into a situation where incapacitated during fall 20. I don't expect that since I am staying away from any potential danger. But the department chair will provide instructions accordingly. I had to put this in here. I am being very careful, and I'm sure you are also being very careful. Academic honesty, this is a requirement. Let's pay attention to that and respect that. It's mandated by the university. Schedule and assignments, week, August the 27th, Thursday. That's the day that you'll probably be listening to this session. The plan is doing various sessions. You will see them noted at various weeks. And there will be links provided to you, and then you can look at them at your leisure, at your convenience. They are being taped. When I send you the link, you know how to proceed from that point on. My sessions stop after 4 hours, so my plan is to make it available on YouTube so that you can have access to. Hopefully, you look at them on a weekly basis, and there may be a point where they will be deleted as we go forward throughout the course. Next week, I'll be covering the discipline of marketing, chapter 1, the role of the marketing manager, chapter 2. When we are covering those chapters, it would be best and easiest for you if you could have the book with you, the marketing book that I've written for this course. That's what it looks like. The 4 variables of the marketing mix. On the cover, the middle is the target market. This was written for you as a special edition covering the foundations, the perspectives and strategies, all in one book, written for my students at the University of Redlands. Okay, so once again, please read the chapters before viewing the link, the session, or shortly thereafter. I think it's going to be easier to follow me if you have already previewed the material in the text. I wrote the book and I'm following it closely. I'm not going to bring things in that are different to the book. I'm staying very close to it. My tests are going to be written from the material that I present, and also some material that I may not present. Not intentionally, but there's a lot of material. And it's written very clearly. I've tested the learning from the book many times actually. And the feedback is written very clearly. Please send me questions that you may have. Send those questions. my email address, as noted in the syllabus, vstober@msn.com. I get an alert that you sent me an email. I can respond quicker. Or you can text me. Phone call would be wonderful too. Leave a message. I would not pick up if I'm driving. I'm supposed to say that, right? And I will call you immediately as soon as I get to a quiet place. All right, so you will notice on the syllabus that every week there is a date that you could expect a response from me in answering all the questions you may have. And I do that individually. So never hesitate to ask me something. No one is going to be aware of the questions you ask me. In the 31 years that I've been at the university, I know how students ask questions, and they tend to prefer answers individually, and I do take the time and pay attention to that and respect that, and I'll continue to do that. September the 15th, please note, just number 1, chapters 1, 2, 3. My tests tend to be short essay questions. I think this time around I'm going to include some objective questions so I can cover a range of chapters and material in those chapters. So we will have a combination of short answers and also objective questions. And the scores will be emailed to each student individually right away. I'll do that right away, for sure, unless emergency comes up. An emergency that could come up is my daughter is having a baby around that time, one of my daughters. So in case I get called, I will take care of that, and then I will answer your email and send your scores shortly thereafter. So this is an exciting period for me, and I'm quite excited about all the things that are happening, and we're going to make it all a positive learning experience and outcome. So stay connected, staying connected with you. Call me if you need me, email me, and you'll be quite happy with my quick response. September the 22nd, I'm going to talk a little more in detail of the global paper. The global paper is worth quite a bit of your grade. I just want to make sure that I say the right thing. Don't want to make a mistake. 20% of your grade. That's huge. The difference between 80 and 100. I do give A's and B's. C's, A minus, B plus, B minus. As you will see, I give minuses and pluses. So every effort counts. On the September the 22nd, I am also planning to talk at great length on chapter 4. Could you please include that on the syllabus? I noticed in preparing for this session 1 with you that I left that out in error. So please write in September the 22nd, the external environment, chapter 4, will be also presented. And that's a very in-depth chapter, very in-depth. Please read it before September the 22nd. Keep up with me and you will have an enjoyable journey with me. I wish I could be with you in person, but we are going to do this and do it very well. people are connected. And then I will see you in person, hopefully back in January 2021. September 29th, the consumer market. These are the consumers that buy products for personal or household consumption. Chapter 6, businesses buying for resale, buying to incorporate, and buying to operate businesses. That chapter is a challenging one for you because you have never worked in a business, or you may have had limited experience in the business. But you need to be knowledgeable and informed and aware of how businesses market products and services so that you can be ready upon graduation. So we will experience that. And I'm very excited to talk about Chapter 6, share with you some of my experiences. Study day, October the 13th. Study day means study. I always remind my students that it's an opportunity to prepare for test number 2. I'll be attentive and alert to receive any communication from you so that I could respond before test number 2. So that would be a good day for you to send me questions you might have. Or on the 14th, don't send it to me 2 minutes before the test at 9:30 in the morning. I may not be able to get a response before 9:30. Why I say that? Because it has happened in the past. After test number 2, I'm going to send the scores to you via an email individually. I'm not going to post it. I want to be courteous and respectful to each person, each student individually. That's my nature. That's how I do things. I may not get your scores to you on the 15th. I may get it on the 16th. Hopefully not later than the 17th. Depends on the length of the test. Chapter 7, Chapter 8, Chapter 9, Chapter 10, very important chapters, the marketing mix. You will notice it states product and service. Not just product, but product and service. One is tangible, the other one is intangible. Session 8, we are going to cover distribution and supply chain and pricing. Students have often thought pricing would be the most difficult. Actually, once you learn the ropes of pricing and the strategies and the thinking and the methods, there's nothing that is difficult. And again, anything that appears difficult, allow me the opportunity to simplify it and make it easy for you to understand. I want to repeat that the material I'm presenting comes out of my book. Nothing that would be strange for you, difficult for you. Oftentimes, when something is added, I make a point that it's added because of a change that may have occurred since the book was written. These kinds of things come into play. Keep in mind, this is a foundation course. I'm imagining and thinking that many of you taking this class have never had a marketing class before and are sensitive to that, and I'm experienced in knowing that and how to deal and respond to those expectations. Promotion, chapter 10, we will introduce you to professional selling, to advertising, to sales promotion, to publicity, sponsorship programs. These are called elements. Promotion decision is a variable. And now we are going to learn those elements that are clearly introduced in chapter 10. Test number 3, November the 10th. Scores will be emailed to you individually around the 12th. With feedback as required, as needed. November 17th and 19th, the global paper is due. You're going to submit to me via email as an attachment. The scores and the feedback will be emailed to each student individually. Once again, individually. The global paper is due November the 17th. I repeat, please, please. That's a long time from today, August the 27th. You have a little guideline on page 8 for the global paper assignment. Well, briefly, allow me the opportunity to say a few things about that. Reminding you, the product or service is made in the USA, service intangible, consultant, for example, provides a service to a foreign country. You select the country. If you don't want to do that and you want me to tell you what country, I can do that. But I don't want you to select a country that may not be of interest to you. The country I would recommend would probably be of interest to you. But I give you this opportunity. One of the things you want to be thinking about is what are the needs and wants of the people in that country. As you look at section 2, you want to profile that target market, the customers for this product or service. You want to profile them based on information that you may gather based on their demographics and lifestyle. That will be introduced in chapter 5. Provide any available data. I didn't say it has to be 3 pages, 4 pages. Again, it depends on the extent of your target market. I don't like to give page limitations. I don't want you to work within a box. I want you to be able to explore and expand. So once again, I have no requirements per se on the limit, on the page number. I can give you an idea of in the past what it was like. Most students would submit 2.5 pages describing the target market needs and wants and why this opportunity exists in that part of the world. Section 3 is going to entertain anything pertaining to that country, their culture, information on practical matters that would be helpful in marketing the product to that foreign country. Where would you get that information? You will get it as the internet nowadays can give you all that information. And in many cases, it's current. Provide pertinent information, if any, regarding the economy, the politics, the laws, duties, quotas. Countries have quotas, limits on how much could be imported to that country. Labeling that poses challenges, risk. What is the risk? If the label does not include the ingredients and there is a side effect or there is a problem that occurs because the label does not declare the content, that could pose a risk. Okay, so getting back to the schedule, the global paper is due on November the 17th, 4 parts. The length total could be approximately 4 to 7 pages. It's very important that you include your references. Very crucial. You can put them all at the end. You can put them at the bottom of each page. The most important is to cite the sources that you get that information from. If you get that information from an interview, you cite the person's name in the interview. Very simple. November the 24th, that's the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I believe on the 26th is Thanksgiving. Yeah, so this is the 24th, which is Tuesday. I'm going to be emailing to you the final, which is a case of a small business. Small businesses are the backbone of this US economy and many economies in the world. And on December the 1st, you will submit that to me via email, bstobel@msn.com as an attachment. It doesn't say a time, so I would say probably no later than 12 midnight. Earlier the better. And then you will get feedback and the scores mailed back to you in a timely manner. What a schedule. We have sessions using Zoom, covering the material in the book that I have written for you, laid out for you. It's available at the bookstore right now. Read the chapters before the sessions. Keep connected with me. You have all my contact information. I'm attentive to immediate feedback. As soon as I get on my computer or my phone, I will respond. I stress that because that's what I am known for, and I don't plan to change, even though we are doing this in a different format, modality. Contact information, I keep repeating myself on that, but I want to make sure that you know how that is to be accomplished. All right, the last page 8, there are 8 pages to the syllabus. And the last page 8, basically, we are using Zoom to deliver the lectures and instructions, post and dates. Send you the link and you will click on it to see the lecture at your convenience that week. Don't get behind. And you may contact me. Tests will be sent on an email attachment within a time designated window, similar to your class time, California time zone. Study guides will be provided in advance in preparing for the pre-test. Okay, so I'm ready, I'm excited. I have many students, and I am excited to prepare you for this world of business, emphasize the importance of creating customers. That's what we do in marketing. Without a customer, there is no business. Think about that. No customer, no business. But there are also other departments within the business that are crucial. Human resources, that's crucial. Production. We need a production department to make the products that people want to buy. We have to hire the right people. Human resource is crucial. Today, a human resource person has to be equipped with the laws that are required, the hiring process, etc. Finance, it takes money to research what customers want and need so that we can create those products that will sell and keep them coming back. We are going to understand the differences that exist amongst different target markets. There's a different target market that shops at Walmart and a different target market that shops at Nordstrom's. Differences, different expectations. I've developed an expectation model, which I'll cover a couple of weeks from now. We have to meet their expectations, otherwise they'll be dissatisfied. Dissatisfied people don't come back oftentimes, and they tell other people about their bad experiences. No room for error in this business. Mistakes are going to be made. Hopefully we can recover from them. Oftentimes we don't get second chances. So this is the reason I take this very serious. Marketing goes beyond advertising. We have to support the products that customers demand. And I use the word demand in a very serious manner. So enjoy reading my book that I've prepared for you, especially for the University of Redlands students, incorporating foundation, various perspectives, international and ethical perspectives. You see the word ethical introduced in the section on the course overview. When you operate on an ethical platform, you tend to have a customer for life. People don't like doing business with people that tend to be unethical. So, with a customer for life, you're going to also examine the perspectives and learn from those that I present to you at the end of chapter 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. At the end of every chapter, there is a perspective on ethics. At the end of every chapter, there's a perspective on international. Those perspectives are the international sections at the end of every chapter, included in chapter 11 and 12, can be very helpful in giving you information to develop your global paper. It was provided to give you ideas and insights so that you can use it accordingly when you go into business or when you're writing a paper for my class. So after you have heard this session, going over the syllabus, please do not hesitate to send me questions if you need clarification, and I will respond in a very timely manner. Okay, so we're good to go for now. Next week will be session 2, chapters 1 and 2, and I look forward to another session covering this very important material, this dynamic and exciting field of marketing.